Good evening, Atlanta. Please welcome your hosts for the evening, Kaylin Allen and Lene Vanee.
What is up, Atlanta?
Yeah, how's everybody doing tonight?
All right.
How is everybody doing tonight?
Maybe we need to do a crowd check. Let me see, how's over here doing? All right. What about your side? What about my people down here in the middle?
I feel like we need to do more of a check-in, Who here might be from Morehouse College? Dang.
Okay.
Dang, where's Morehouse at? Okay, do I hear Spelman College? Hey, where's Spelman? I like me. Don't you wish? All right. Down. Okay. And last but not least of the AUC, can I hear from Clark Atlanta University?
I know that's right.
Yeah. Don't want to leave them out. Georgia State, y'all here?
Georgia State?
Okay. We
Okay.
hear y'all. We see y'all.
Okay.
All right.
Y'all, the energy in here is electric, okay? I'm so happy to be here. If you don't know, my name is Kaylin Allen.
And my name is Lene Vanee. And we're so excited to be your host tonight.
You know, when they told me I'd be hosting with Lene, I said, oh, it's about to be a party with a purpose.
And it is. See, young people came out tonight. I see y'all. Can you believe we're just 7 days out from the election? Only 7 days. Can I hear if you're a first-time voter? Very good.
Yes. We love to hear it. And here's what I need everybody to understand, okay? It's not that we have to vote, it's that we get to vote.
I like that.
Because Georgia, your vote is your superpower. Every single vote in this state matters. And it impacts us in more ways than most people realize. There is so much at stake this year, from health care to the economy to what goes in our schools and neighborhoods.
And that is why when we all vote, it's out here doing the work.
Yes.
Making sure everyone knows their rights, their polling place, and their voting plan. Because no matter who you vote for, at the end of the day, we're not just voting for ourselves, we're voting for our communities, we're voting for the generations before us that could not, and the generations coming that deserve more.
Come on.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to get out there. Did you guys know that early voting ends in just 3 days? So, after this rally, we need you to grab your squad, your family,
18
your neighbors,
for sure,
your group chat, and make that plan to vote. Because when we all vote, we all win.
Now, are you guys ready to get this party started? Okay, because we've got an incredible night ahead featuring some amazing guests like Sierra, Victoria Monet, Kerry Washington, and of course, our forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. But to kick it all off, please throw your hands together, Atlanta, to welcome When We All Vote's Executive Director, Beth Link.
Hello, Atlanta. My name is Beth Link, and I am here to welcome you to the When We All Vote rally. And happy early vote day. With just 3 days before early voting ends here in Georgia, and just 7 days away from the election, we have got a busy week ahead of us. And tonight is a chance to remember why we're all here, why we do this work, and why we are so proud to live in a country where we can make our voices heard. This is a chance to have a little fun, to celebrate, and boy, do we have a show for you tonight. Can I just hear it for our hosts? Aren't they amazing? So they just gave you a preview of what's to come, and I, for one, am really excited. Before we get things kicked off, I want to give a shout out to our sponsors, the National Education Association, SEIU, LIFT, the Social Justice Fund United, the NBA Players Association, and the United Talent Agency. I also have to thank the organizers, advocates, and volunteers who have been doing the hard work to combat threats to access to voting and ensure that Georgia voters can make their voices heard. And most of all, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you. Whether you've been with the When We All Vote family for years, or if you are joining us for the first time, we could not be more grateful that you are here. When We All Vote is a nonpartisan organization on a mission to change the culture around voting. This means that you won't hear anything tonight about specific candidates or races. Our goal is bigger than that. We want to help people recognize that their vote matters and empower them to use it, particularly folks who have been historically left out. These past 6 years, we've helped countless people get to the polls. Since 2018, we've reached more than 100 million people at music festivals, barbershops, and schools. We've registered over 500,000 voters and partnered with hundreds of organizations along the way. And this election season alone, we've held over 500 parties at the polls to get people excited about voting, and we've reached out to more than 10 million voters to encourage them to vote and to vote early. None of this would be possible without the very people in this room. And let me just say, the whole country is depending on you this week as we get people to the polls. If you haven't already voted, make your plan right now. Take out your phone and text Georgia to 56005, and we'll tell you exactly how to vote early before the deadline on Friday. If Election Day works better for you, we've got you covered. Because together, we are really changing the culture around voting. On behalf of all of us at When We All Vote, thank you so much for coming. Now, it is my absolute honor to give it up for Grammy Award-winning artist who has always been on repeat for me, Ciara.
Yes, sir. ATL, make some noise. Y'all look so beautiful. Let me just say that. If I must say, being back home always hits different because the ATL made me who I am today. I remember being a teenage girl right here in College Park. Those are some of my most memorable years of my life, and by the time I graduated from Riverdale High, I also went to North Clayton right here in College Park. And let me tell you guys, I love you too. I had big dreams, big dreams. And the culture of Atlanta made me believe that those dreams could become a reality if I put in the work. The Atlanta way. We don't just talk about it, we are about it. Just look at what the city has given the world. The birthplace of civil rights, the home of Black excellence, the cultural capital of the South, And whenever I travel around the world, people still ask me about Atlanta. They want to know about our music, our food, our style, our spirit, our sauce. And and it's just a way of life. It isn't just a city, it's just a way of life. And all across the ATL, from the Sweet Auburn to South DeKalb, from the West End to Vine City, we had to work hard. We get the job done, and we make history. And now, Atlanta, over the next 7 days, these are very important days, we've got another chance to show the world what we're made of. Experts say Georgia will play a critical role in this election. That's right, we do decide. It might even be the make or break state, the state that decides the winner next week. That is huge, isn't it? Oh, we big in Georgia. So that's why starting right now, you have to do everything you can to show up for whatever candidates and issues you care about. That means we need to make a plan. We need to decide if we're heading to the polls during the early voting period this week, or if we're going to vote next Tuesday on Election Day itself. Whatever you choose to do, make sure you get out there. There is no time to waste. Are you guys ready to make history? I said, are y'all ready to make history? So I know we're in our hometown. I'm gonna try something because I know only Atlanta can do it how I know Atlanta can do it. I'm gonna say something. We ready. We ready. What? We ready for. One more time. You ready? We ready. I can't hear you. Let's go. We ready for y'all. Yes, sir. Thank you, Atlanta. I love y'all so much. Let's go. Love y'all.
Now you know you can't have a real Atlanta party without bringing out one of the baddest HBCU bands in the game. We talk about a band that's been bringing the spirit for almost a century.
And not just any drum line, the drum line from the movie Drumline. Yeah. We welcome the Clark Atlanta University Drumline. I used to march a little bit myself.
I know that's
so I felt
right.
really home.
Yes.
What an amazing performance! Give them a round of applause again.
Yeah.
Now our next speaker is no stranger to the big stage. I'm getting excited. With 7 Grammy nominations this year.
Woo!
Can you guess? 1 Best New Artist. She knows a thing or two about how to get us moving and grooving.
Oh, yes, indeed. But tonight, she's singing a different tune.
Yes.
Here to tell us about how much her voting means to her, please welcome to the stage the incredible, the incomparable, Victoria Monet.
ATL. I'm gonna move this. How we feeling tonight? Man, it feels so good to be home. I was born right here in this city. How many Atlanta natives do we have in the building tonight? Yes, we love you so much. I love you too. I have been all across the country on tours and performance stops, and I can tell you for a fact that Atlanta is special. ATL has this energy that is unmatched. It's like the heartbeat of the South. It bursts authentic culture that is felt nationwide. I feel it in the air every time I come back. There is a power to this place. This is a city that marches. This is a city that rallies. This is a city that shows up for our people and for ourselves. This is a city that votes. And I can feel that very power in the stadium right now as you gear up to make your voices echo with your ballots this week. I remember the first time I cast my ballot. It was in 2008, and it was the very first election that I was of voting age. Fresh out of high school and eager to cast my vote. I'll never forget how excited I was, how privileged, how prideful I felt, because I realized that voting was just a different way for me to use my voice and be heard. It was a way to use my voice for something way bigger than myself. You see, music is my first passion, and I've been singing and writing and performing since I was young, and until that day at the ballot box, music was the only way I knew how to truly speak my mind, express myself, and let my voice be heard. But once I cast my vote, I walked out of the polls with my head high, confident that on that day in America, my vote was my voice, and it counted. It really struck a chord that stuck with me like it was printed on vinyl, and I plan to keep it spinning. So I brought my 3-year-old daughter here today with me. She needs to see and absorb and feel how important it all is. Voting is the most effective way to have a say in every little thing that happens in this country. To you, for you, and with you. It's a birthright that we shouldn't take for granted. This is a matter of autonomy, the right to choose, protection, safety, self-love, morals, history, and plain old logic. If you do it for yourself and that's not enough motivation, at least do it for our children. Trust me, I get it. If you haven't voted before, you may assume that it would be difficult. Maybe you feel embarrassed to ask answers to questions you think you may already know. Maybe you think it's too complicated or too late. But I assure you, registering to vote is just as quick and as easy as creating a TikTok profile. It's quicker than learning that viral dance. It's faster than editing that selfie in Facetune. And it's definitely way quicker than an episode of Love is Blind. So what I'm saying is, if you have time to do all that, you have time to register to vote. The possible consequences of not using your voice are far more complex and will last way longer than the voting process itself. And maybe you actually want to vote, but you don't know where to start or what to bring or how to submit your ballot, and that's okay. The team at When We All Vote can help you figure all of that out. They've got all these tools and resources to help you on their website to make it super easy. It's a private matter with either public benefits or public consequences, and you decide which one. So please, the moment is now. So ATL, can we do something real quick? When I say go, you say vote. Can we do that? You ready? Go. 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 Let's go. Take the leap and commit to making your voice count. And make sure you tell your friends. It's gonna feel so much better than you even imagine. You don't just have to take it from me. Here to tell you more about their experiences are two fabulous first-time voters from right here in Atlanta. Let's give it up for Mason Wright and Dasana Clark.
Hello, Georgia. My name is Mason Wright, and I am a proud first-time Georgia voter. I learned at a very young age, it matters who we elect. It matters who's in office. You see, when I wanted to start my business as a youth entrepreneur when I was 9 years old, I went to a trip to New York City, and you know how New York is. And in Times Square, all you saw was hot dog carts and superheroes. Then I got the idea to take that business concept back to Atlanta, and I did. And when I wanted to get my licensing, it took some convincing of my politicians at the time. They were skeptical. They didn't believe that a 13-year-old and 14-year-old at the time could open a restaurant, but we were old enough to work in them. That's when I realized that when I did get my license and I was able to open, I worked with new politicians and new leaders, and they helped me open my restaurant. They helped me follow my dreams. And that was so important to me because I showed them that I was serious about being an entrepreneur. Like thousands of other youth entrepreneurs out there, we made a plan, we got open, and I'm really thankful to everyone who helped me. That is why last week, my business is Mason Super Dogs. We're open from, our first location is in DeKalb County. We're open from Tuesday to Saturday. And on the Beltline, on our second location, we will be open from, we'll be open from Wednesday to Sunday. So I hope to see you all there. But that's when I realized that, oh, y'all messed me up. Y'all made me tell my name too early. I'm gonna blame you for this. But where was I? Yes. Thank you. That's why I knew that when my politicians cared, and they didn't just care about the economy and healthcare, but they cared about all of our entrepreneurs, our young entrepreneurs especially. And that's when last week, on the first day of early voting, I was so excited to have a voice not only in my community, but as well as in my country. And that is why I took my family members. I made sure I dragged my friends out of bed. Yes, I had to drag my friends out of bed. You know who you are. And that is why we have to vote. Because when we vote, we have to vote because we thank you all.
Hey everybody! Hey. My name is Dasana Clark, and I am a senior at McEachern High School here in Atlanta. These days, I'm submitting college applications and thinking about who I want to be in the world. All right, I hope y'all don't get mad at me for this next sentence. But my dream is to go to Howard University. Oh, y'all don't join me. And one day become a cosmetic dentist and own my own practice. But no matter what the future holds, there's one job I want to have for sure. A voter. Yeah. To me, voting is a way of taking charge of my life and my community. It's my way of having a say over the people that impact our day-to-day, like mayors, school district officials, and yes, even the president. I know a lot of my peers don't feel that way. They think their voices don't matter. They think nobody is listening. But I say, if we give into this kind of thinking, we just trap ourselves in the same old patterns. But we can't let that happen because we don't just deserve any future, we deserve a better one. Last week, I cast my ballot with my parents, and I felt a sense of joy and liberation. Joy because I had reached a major life milestone, and liberation, well, because I finally have a say. If you feel that way too, and if you haven't voted yet, get out there now, and trust me, you won't regret it. Thank you.
All right, Atlanta. Is everybody ready to turn this energy up another notch? Okay. Because our next performer is also from Atlanta, born and raised. And as a Georgia boy, he grew up to listening to both country and rap, and now he does both.
And you probably know his viral Get Up challenge from TikTok. Man, that had everybody dancing, from the club to your grandma's house, all right? Now, this multi-talented musician has produced hits for everyone from Fergie to Pitbull, and charted himself on Billboard's Hot Country Songs. And now he's back home in Atlanta, ready to bring all that talent and all that energy to this stage. So, let's please give a warm Georgia welcome to none other than Blanco Brown.
Woo!
In a little tent, oh, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. Then I'll go to my brother, and I said, brother, help me please. Yeah, but he winds up knocking me I do whistle tones because I can't whistle in real life like you beautiful people. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time. Y'all know the words, help me singing it here. Oh, y'all sound beautiful. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I stay strong on your love all the time.
Thank you.
You better sing, Blocko.
Okay, singing down.
You was singing down.
All right, Atlanta. I need you all to lean in for a minute because we've been celebrating tonight, but now we need to talk about why we're really here, about why this moment is so crucial. You know, when people think about the story of democracy in America, when they think about the fight for freedom, the freedom to vote, they think about Georgia. They think about Atlanta. They think about the shoulders we're standing on right now.
From Atlanta's greatest son, Dr. King, preaching at Ebenezer Baptist Church, to the late, great John Lewis, who went from sit-ins and freedom rides to representing our city in the halls of Congress, to every neighborhood where our grandparents struggled and sacrificed, enduring long lines in the long shadow of disenfranchisement and voter suppression. History happened here. Now it's our turn to write the next chapter of Georgia's story. So let's take a minute in between all of these superstar performers and world-famous speakers that we have in store for you. Let's take a minute to reflect, to celebrate where we've been, and more importantly, where we're going. So let's dim the lights and celebrate Georgia.
Georgia.
When we tell the story of our democracy, Georgia is always on our mind.
We on the grind, Georgia.
From Atlanta to Columbus and Augusta to Savannah, Georgians across generations have stood up and sat in for the freedoms we deserve. At lunch counters, at bus stations, in classrooms, and yes, at the ballot box. Because here in Georgia, we know that our vote is our voice. Our vote is our power. We flexed that power in 2020 when 70% of our state was registered to vote. And this year, we've already shattered the early voting record. Young black and brown voters are showing up and showing out. In the last 4 months alone, more than 40,000 new voters have registered to make their voices heard. Here in Georgia, we know better than anyone that the fight is far from over. Today, our right to vote is once again under an all-out attack. We've seen this movie before, but the ending is not yet written, so we know what we have to do. The great John Lewis reminded us that democracy is not a state, it is an act. It is the responsibility of each generation to protect it. Now, it's our turn. In this election, let America know we've got something to say. We're going to say it on November 5th.
Georgia.
cannot stop thinking about Election Day. But if you've been paying attention tonight, you know there's another countdown in our sights, very near sights, November 1st, which is the early voting deadline. How many of y'all have voted already? Just checking. But we're not just talking about convenience here, though I've done my fair share of time in long Election Day lines and I would rather be chilling on Tuesday. But what we're really talking about now is making sure that there is nothing, and I mean nothing, that stops your voice from being heard.
But don't take it from us, because we're going to hear from an all-star team telling you how and why to vote early this year. Coming up next is none other than Kerry Washington.
Yeah.
And yes, Olivia Pope, okay? And some incredible voting leaders here in Georgia who are going to tell you more about access to voting. Without further ado, Mrs. Washington, take it away.
Yeah. And that's Big Kerry, not the little one.
What's up, Georgia? Oh. Hey, I am so happy to be with you guys today. You guys look good. It's handled. This is such a remarkable state. It's the legacy of this state is so fantastic. Do you know that even to this day, your state, Georgia, is the blueprint for what good organizing looks like? Yes. That people from all over the country look to Georgia to figure out what tools and what techniques actually work to get out the vote. And there is one reason for that. One serious reason. Because you have some of the best organizers in the world. And some of them are right up here on this stage with me. What these folks have been doing for the past several decades is nothing short of historic. For years, and listen to me carefully because this is the real. For years, folks have done everything to try to stop you from voting, right? So they've done everything from stopping giving you water or a snack while waiting in line in the Georgia sun. They've trying to throw away your ballot if you forget to write your birthday on it. Trying to prevent blind folks from getting help filling out their ballots. Until a couple of weeks ago, they were trying to force poll workers to hand count all the ballots in the state, which would obviously insert opportunities for mistakes and fraud. They were trying to make it so that a single person could stop the certification for the whole state, which would throw the whole process, the whole electoral college into disarray. So when somebody tells you that their vote doesn't matter, say, why are they coming for my vote? Right? So thankfully, the judges stopped these rules from going into effect in this election. But I want you to know that that is because of the people behind me. People like Amanda Hollowell of When We All Vote. Tamika Atkins of Pro Georgia. And Latasha Brown and Cliff Albright of Black Voters Matter. So give it up for them. Show them some love. Show them some love, Atlanta. Over to you, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Kerry. I have a lot of emotion because I have been organizing in Georgia for decades, starting in Savannah, going to the state, and now I'm at this amazing national organization. But it's because When We All Vote has over 500 diverse partners in our Culture of Democracy collective, from the Divine Nine to Pro Georgia. We make a way for everyone to get engaged. And it's with our partnerships that we educate, we register, and we turn out the vote. And so I'm so excited to hear from our lovely partners, and I'm just amazed by this woman. Every time she speaks, please, please, please listen to Tamika Atkins, the Executive Director of Pro Georgia. Hi,
everyone. I am so very happy to be here. And I'm so very happy to see all your faces today and to see how many people in Georgia deeply care about voting. Now, we know that there's a lot of noise, right, about barriers that make it difficult for us to cast our ballot, and it can feel overwhelming. It can feel disenfranchising. But that is why we are here. That is why all of us are here. Pro Georgia is a statewide coalition that is fighting for our right to vote, our right to access the ballot, and our right to participate in our democracy. I have the blessing and the honor and the privilege of working with so many people on this stage, folks who are in the streets every day, in and out, up until today before coming on this stage. But today, I get to share two special people with you all, Cliff Albright and Latasha Brown from Black Voters Matter Fund.
Well, the first thing I did right was the day I started to fight. Keep your eyes on the prize and hold on, hold on. Amen? Amen. Listen, y'all, we ain't forgot. I wanted to sing that song because almost 60 years ago, there were young people like you, they were actually younger than you, most of them, that were singing that song on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, that they literally knew that at the end of the day, what they were fighting for their freedom, they're fighting for their rights, they were literally pushing back on the powers that said we can't vote. And ultimately, this is your moment. I want you all to really recognize that when our rights are under the attack, we've got to organize and fight back. Don't we have to fight back? And so with that, this is not just about candidates. This isn't just about policy. This really is about love. You have a choice before you. Are we going to go a route of hate, or are we going to go a route of love? Love. When I say love, you say power, love. Love. When I say power, you say love. Power. Power. I'm going to bring up my brother, Cliff Albright, but listen, y'all know we in these streets. And so you got to do, my last thing I'll say, it is going to take 10 to win. Say 10 to win. 10 to win. And 5 to thrive. So you need to make a list of 10 people you know. From now, we got 7 days, y'all. We got to get in these streets. Come on, soldiers. You've got to make sure that you make a list of 10 people, whether you go to church, if they're at your school, that you ask them to go and vote. You will vote with them. 5 to thrive, that's who you're going to show up on election day. You're going to be responsible for 5 voters. Is that all right? Yeah. How many it's going to take to win? 10. How many it's going to take to win? 10. And how many it's going to take to thrive? 5. All right, Black Voters Matter.
What's going on, Georgia? So I gotta do this real quick, but first I gotta shout out my squad, because I know we got some students here from all across the state of Georgia, from Fort Valley to Valdosta. And as our manager, Melanie, always says, yeah, go on and shout it out. As our manager always says, from Savannah to Atlanta, from Muskogee to Savannah, we out here in these streets, y'all, because that's what it takes. When we say Black Voters Matter, we mean all Black voters. We mean all voters. We all got to matter. Young and old, male and female, trans and cis, those with disabilities and those without, those who are 10th generation and those who are first generation, those who are incarcerated and those who are not. When we say we matter, we mean we all matter. Because when we all matter, we win. When we all vote, we win. When we work together, we win. And when we believe, we win. Thank y'all.
Okay, so our next 2 speakers need no introduction, but I'm gonna say a few words anyway.
Go ahead.
Joining us now is Blackish star Marsai Martin, who is going to tell you just how to round up your squad.
And following her is musical icon Kelly Rowland, who will walk you through how to make your voting plan. Come on, Marsai.
Hey, what's up, Atlanta? Good to see y'all. Oh my God. Guys, we are only 7 days away from voting day. My goodness. And question, my only question is, you got your voting crew yet? Yeah? Look, I'm talking cousins, I'm talking aunties, that one friend who shows up to everything super late. You gotta bring them all. It don't matter. And my crew, they are right here. Shout out to my parents. Hey, got my grandma Vonnie. Got my sister who is 8, but you know she gotta know now. She gotta see it going on. And they are actually the people who remind me not to leave my phone at the polling place, so I gotta make sure I bring them with me always. And y'all's, I mean, it could be your sister, your mom, your dad, that one cousin who never replies to text but suddenly shows up when there's food. Like, they gotta come. It's a family affair, guys. Because the reality is, voting doesn't have to be somber or solitary. Think of it like a group project, but you know, like with less stress and there's way more snacks. So, okay, here's the move. Grab your phone right now, text 3 people, ask them what they're up to these next 3 days before early voting wraps up. And make it sound like, I don't know, maybe like a brunch invite. You know, whatever gets them there. Because real talk, this election is big. Like, can't sit this one out kind of big. For real. So let's make our voices heard, bring the whole fam, and make it count. For real, don't leave it to the last minute like that essay you turned in at 11:59 p.m. You know where I'm talking to. Why you pointing at me? I was homeschooled and I'm out of school. Hey, if you're not sure where to start, it's okay, I got you, because my big sister is gonna pull up to the stage. Kelly Rowland is about to break it down. Love y'all.
Thank you, Marsai. ATL, how we feeling? That is too low for every voice that's in here that's ready to make it loud and proud and very boisterous this voting season. Let me hear you make some noise. Thank you so much, Marsai. Now, she is so right. Voting is so much more fun with your friends. The next step, of course, is how to do it, when to do it, and where you're going to do it. So let's be real. Setting aside the time to do it is not always easy. For students, we know you got class, you got extracurricular activities, am I correct? Homework to navigate, we completely understand. For parents, we know you got to think about babysitters, childcare, even PTO. Honey, I get it, I have 2 of my own. So it can be a lot. It's easy for us to just kind of let that time get away from us, but please, don't let this happen, okay? Don't let this happen. As you're thinking about who you're gonna vote for in this election, you also have to think about how you're gonna do it. So ask yourself, do you wanna vote during the early voting period in the next 3 days, or does the election work best for you? Or does election day work better for you? Ask yourself, where's your polling location? How are you gonna get there? Y'all know how y'all gonna get there? Okay, cool. And what time you're going. Make sure you're in line by 7 p.m. Let's all repeat, 7? Man, I love Georgia. And if you're voting by mail, ask yourself, do you want to complete your ballot while drinking your coffee, having a pedicure? I personally completed mine while watching Tyler Perry's new series, okay? So whatever you decide, make sure you submit your ballot by Okay, election day, on 7 p.m. election day 2. Making a plan is the best way, guys, to avoid uncertainty, anxiety, and that last-minute scramble. Y'all don't deserve that. Y'all deserve to do it in peace. You really do. And look, even if you aren't sure what precinct you are in, where to go to When We All Vote. They've got you completely covered, okay? Text your phones. Where y'all phones at? Okay, now text Georgia to 56005, and we'll send you a link to make a plan so you can vote right now. It's a one-stop shop, resources galore, so make sure you take advantage of them this election. I know I will. Georgia, I love you. Y'all look so beautiful. Remember, this vote is yours. Thank you, baby. Thank you. Thank you so much, Georgia. Good night. I love y'all. Make your voices heard.
And you can stab it. If you touch it, I'm a berry. Pretty as a picture, sweeter than a switch.
Atlanta, this has been a very special night. Did you have a good time? Well, it's not over yet. That's right, we got one last performance for you, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
This R&B superstar has given us hit after hit, from Pressure to Shea Butter Baby. Critics say she's carrying the torch of divas like Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, and Mary J. Blige for a whole new generation.
And even with her stupendous talent, she's always keeping it real. Yeah, so we're thrilled to have her helping us get you out to vote. So get on your feet, Atlanta, and make some noise for D-Nice on the ones and twos, and for the one and only truly incredible Miss Ari Lennox.
Yeah!
What's up, y'all? How you doing? Y'all look so beautiful. Where my Shea Butter babies at? I know that's right. Let's start it over, my love. Let's do it. Falling in me, yeah. Shea Butter, baby, messing up your. Touch me, take me, kiss me, love me, impress me, pull up, black truck, ganja, wrist so blindly, heart so timeless, wishing you could meet me, see me, freak me. Hey, you lost in the shade, but my hips come up. All that gives a move. And if you're really down, we could find lost in the alley, making love by your trash can head. Yeah. All that gives a move. And if you're really down, we could find lost in the alley, making love. Shea Butter, baby, messing up your below. How y'all feeling? Yeah. Shea Butter, baby, messing up your sheets. Sing it with me, y'all. You cross my mind. Time I draw the line.
Relapse, I'm fainting. Yes, what's that? In fact,
I'm dreaming. You lost in the shade, but my hips dead. All that gives a move. And if you're really down, we could find lost in the alley, making love by your trash can hate. All that gives a move. And if you're really down, we could find lost in the alley, making love. Shea Butter, baby, messing up your below. What's up, y'all? Thank you. My name is Ari Lennox. And it's so important to vote, y'all, so let's do that. Let's do that. Y'all down to do that? I know that's right. Let's apply some pressure with that. Here we go. Yeah. Your eyes on me, a platter. Hey, I'll get it, don't be timid when you in it, platter. Hey, sit love on it, never long, leave it. Hey, say I don't want no trip, baby, spray it like it. So fine and spicy, baby, jump up on this. Hey, I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot to excite me, baby, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby. You texting me, you know I won't reply. Why you ain't mess with me when I wasn't this fly? Now I'm on top and now I'm riding sky. Don't need nobody, but I take you down. And I'm okay with being nasty. You freaking out for all these clothes. Anyway, my body dripping, boy, but you gon' have to wait. And when you get it, lick it like a candy cane. Keep your eyes on me apply. Hey, say get it, don't be timid when you in it, play. Say love on it, nibble on, leave it. Say I don't want no drip, baby, spray it like you mean it. So fine and spicy, baby, jump up on this. I guess that's why you like it, baby, come and get this. Takes a lot, give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby, what I say? Hey, say pop it, honey, twist it up, do it like you mean it, darling. Keep it coming, ooh, keep me running, leave it messy. So go ahead, live it, swim in it. Keep it darling, keep it coming. Ooh, so go ahead, live it, swim in it. So get it, don't be timid when you in it, pie. Say love on it. On it. Hey, say I don't want no drill. Hey, that's so fine. Jump up on. I guess that's why you like it, babe. It takes a lot. Give it all you got. I'm a tough cookie, baby. Yeah, what I say? Hit it, babe. Hit it, babe.
And now a special message from the When We All Vote co-chairs.
Hey, what's up, Georgia?
Hi, Georgia.
What's up, Georgia?
Hello, Georgia. It's Lin-Manuel Miranda. It's Brett Monroe.
It's your girl, Becky G.
It's Janelle Monáe. Now, you didn't think we'd miss the party tonight, did you?
As proud When We All Vote co-chairs,
we answered Mrs. Obama's call to join her voting squad.
And to help get our communities get registered
and ready to vote. Because we know how powerful we are when we all vote together.
With more than 34 million Black voters.
More than 15 million Asian American voters. More than 36 million Latino voters.
More than 40 million Gen Z voters.
Millions of LGBTQIA+ voters, just like me.
There's no stopping us at the ballot box this year.
I just want to know who is ready to join us and make our voices heard.
Who's ready to decide our future? And last but not least, who's ready to see our voting squad captain, Mrs. Obama? Let's get it.
Let's go, y'all.
Let's go. Here we go.
All right. Hello. Yeah. Okay. Shonda.
Listen up. We have an idea. We have an idea, y'all.
You guys,
Listen,
we have
listen
an
to this
idea.
pitch.
We
Listen
want
to
to
this
pitch Shonda Rhimes, the queen of showbiz. We want to pitch her an idea.
Watch it, watch
so
it.
Shonda, this is what it is.
This is what it is.
There's a young black girl.
Right.
She's raised in a working class family on the south side of Chicago.
Sounds good.
She goes to Princeton. Then she goes to Harvard Law School. She becomes a lawyer. She falls in love with a guy with kind of a funny name. And he's got big ambition.
Huge. And let's say this man runs for president.
Right.
And she makes history.
Yes.
As the first black woman to be the first lady of the United States.
All right.
Does that sound good?
Let me guess. Carrie wants to play her.
Maybe.
Does every character I write for you need to end up in the White House?
Maybe.
Okay. So what makes her special?
Well, she shows the nation what grace under pressure looks like.
Amen.
When we see injustice, she inspires us to act.
Amen.
She teaches us that when we all vote, we can make the world a better place.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right.
That.
I'm in.
That.
But what's her name?
That's a good question.
Atlanta! You know her name? What is it? Please welcome our former First Lady, the one, the only, Michelle Obama!
Look at you guys. Well, hey. Oh my goodness. Look at you all. Oh my goodness. Wow. Thank you guys. Love you so much. Love y'all so much. All right. We've had you all here for quite some time now. We wanted to come to Atlanta because, well, we know y'all know how to throw a good party. And hasn't this been a wonderful evening? I mean, I've been in the back just watching everybody. I mean, it's just so good to have everybody here tonight. And I want to thank all of my friends, all the folks who took time out of their busy lives to come here to be with Georgia, be here in Atlanta. Kerry Washington, Shonda Rhimes, Liza Koshy, Rita Wilson, Sierra, Victoria Monet, Blanco Brown, my girl Marseille Martin and Kelly Rowland, DJ D Nice, Ari Lennox. And of course, our hosts, Kaylin and Lene, didn't they do a great job? But most of all, I want to thank all of you, really. Yeah. And we have just 1 week until Election Day. 1 week. So, who's ready to make their voices heard? Yes. 1 week from tonight, all across the country, we are going to find out the leaders who will manage our cities and our schools and our neighborhoods. We will see which ballot initiatives went out. We will determine the makeup of the House of Representatives in the U.S. Senate. And I'm not sure if you've heard, but we'll also be picking the next president of the United States, too, yes. But tonight, I'm not going to get into any specific races or candidates because that's not what we do at When We All Vote. We are a nonpartisan, nonprofit effort designed to change our country's culture around voting. And I started When We All Vote 6 years ago because I wanted to make sure that someone was reaching out to the folks who have been left out or left behind in our electoral process, particularly young people and people of color. So, yes, So our goal is not to tell people who to vote for, but to instead encourage people to get registered, to give them the information they need to cast their ballot, and to make sure they have that they vote in every single election, not just presidential elections. Altogether, we've mobilized millions of people. We've helped drive the record-breaking turnout in 2020. We partied at the polls, we picnicked with the Roots, we've registered voters at NBA Summer League and organized at schools, churches, barbershops, you name it. So I want to give a big shout out to all the folks who put in the hard work to make that work possible. So I want to give a big round of applause to the When We All Vote voters, volunteers, staff, all of you all. Thank you. And to everybody who worked on tonight's celebration, thank you. And I also know that we've got a lot of folks here tonight who are stepping up to make their voices heard for the very first time. So let's give a big shout out to our first-time voters. Yes. Proud of you all. Now, all of you here tonight are the reason why I love this work. I love you, I love your energy, I love your passion, I love your commitment to this country, but I have to be honest. Sometimes I wish we didn't have to do this work at all. I'm always amazed at how little so many people really understand just how profoundly elections impact our daily lives. I'm astounded by how much coaxing and pleading it takes to get people to recognize how their vote is fundamentally connected to their own self-interest. Because that's really what your vote is. It is your chance to tell folks in power what you want. Look, voting affects everybody, but it especially affects you. So if you want your life and your future to look better, you gotta vote. Because in this election, every issue you can possibly care about is on the ballot. How much comes out of your paychecks in taxes, how much you pay at the grocery store, whether you can afford to ever buy a house, what kind of health insurance you have, who's making decisions about your reproductive health, how the government will deal with AI, America's role in the world. I could go on and on and on. And look, I get it. It can be intimidating and overwhelming to focus on these huge issues. And I know life is hard. Life be lifing. Really hard. People have enough on their plates just trying to get ahead or just trying to survive. And there are so many distractions that keep us all off balance. So much disinformation flooding our phones, so many lies to keep us uncertain and afraid. But I believe there are some deeper things going on here too. So many folks, particularly our young people, are struggling to find their footing in this world, battling higher levels of stress, anxiety, loneliness, frustration. More folks feel disillusioned, helpless to affect change in their own lives. That makes them increasingly more apathetic. And as a result, our priorities have gotten a little off whack. We got a lot of folks thirsty for likes from their followers, but uninterested in the needs of their communities. We got folks excited to vote on reality shows, but not willing to vote for their actual reality. Folks climbing up that ladder without thinking about who they step on along the way. And don't get me wrong, there is nothing wrong with being a little ambitious. There is nothing wrong with working hard to achieve big things in life. All of us are looking for some level of autonomy and control over our lives. But what I don't understand is how so many Americans of all races and backgrounds fail to understand that a healthy, functioning, engaged democracy is absolutely critical to our ability to live life on our own terms, people. Without a vibrant democracy, we don't have any say in shaping our futures. We don't have any ability to change anything at all. Our vote is our voice. It is our power. It is the key to our ability to express ourselves and build the community and the country we want to live in. And I know all of you here in this room get that, but I know it's not always easy to sell that message outside of these walls. A lot of folks out there are wondering if the political system has their best interests at heart. Folks feeling unheard and fed up. Folks resigned to the idea that nothing's ever going to change, that voting and elections don't really matter, that the folks in charge don't care about us, and that maybe the only way to get folks to listen is to not vote at all. And I'm sure all of you have heard these kind of conversations from the folks in your lives. And to tell you the truth, these feelings are not irrational. They come from a valid place. Look, I love this country to death, but we all know we've got a lot of work left to do. And in this country, change takes not days, but decades, y'all. So that can be frustrating. So it's natural to wonder if anyone hears you, if anyone sees you. It is healthy to push your leaders to be better, even to question the whole system. But our job, not just at When We All Vote, but as Americans who care about our brothers and sisters, is to stop the spiral of disillusionment and apathy. It's our job to show folks that two things can be true at once: that it is possible to be outraged by the slow pace of progress and be committed to your own pursuit of that progress. It is possible to be disheartened by what's happening and still choose to do everything in your power to make it better, to speak out, to organize, to donate, and yes, vote for the person you believe is the best candidate for your goals. See, that's what so many of our ancestors did. The generations who were isolated and denigrated and violated, yet nonetheless believed Dr. King when he said that we can hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. The folks who always recognized that no matter how bad things were, here in America, the primary road to building real power or dismantling someone else's runs straight through the ballot box. Look, I am not a politician, and I will never be. Ever, ever. But for the past couple of decades, I have seen exactly how power works, y'all. I have sat at tables with some of the most powerful people in the world. And let me tell you, a lot of these people sitting at those tables have absolutely no clue what your lives are like, especially if you don't come from money or you come from a different background than them. Many of them go their entire lives without ever crossing paths or having a single conversation with folks who are different from them. Folks a lot like all of us here tonight. So let me tell you something. They could not care less about your apathy. In fact, they welcome it. They welcome it. They are happy to be in full control of this game. That's why every single person who has real power in this world, they are fully engaged in the political process. Every CEO and billionaire and corporate board president, they follow the news obsessively. They hire lobbyists to fight for their interest. They donate to the candidates they seek to influence. You all hear me now? This is what I'm telling you. They donate on both sides of the aisle if it's in their interest. And you better believe that they vote in every single election because they know how critical elections are to maintaining and building their power base. And when we don't vote, they assume that not only do we not care, but that we are happy to hand our power over to them. Happy. And what a lot of non-voters don't understand about real power is that our absence doesn't make those in charge hear us any better. Instead, our absence is taken as our consent. They take our indifference as part of their mandate to do whatever they want. That has always been the truth of how this country runs. The process goes on with or without you. Decisions are made, judges appointed, laws enacted. So when you're talking to folks out there who are considering sitting on the sidelines, I want you to tell them about how this system really works. Throw some history on them. Tell them about what happened in 1968. Yeah, that's when I was a little girl. Y'all weren't even around. In that election, folks were so fed up with America's presence in Vietnam, they chose to not vote at all in that election. Now, we don't know if those folks would have swayed the election, but here's what happened next. We didn't wind down the war. The US expanded it. Thousands more Americans died on the battlefield, and many folks in Vietnam, Cambodia, Laos were killed too. And then I want you to tell them about the presidential election in 2000. Still, many of y'all weren't alive then either. People actually thought a good way to pick our president was to choose the guy they'd rather have a beer with. A beer with. A beer. Like today, folks thought it didn't make a difference who was in the White House because none of it really mattered. So a lot of folks chose to stay home. And barely half of the voting age population cast a ballot in that election, by far the lowest rate this century. And almost 100,000 people voted for a third-party candidate who had no chance of winning. Some voted for that candidate because they wanted to stick their thumb in the eye of the status quo. Does that sound familiar? Because they thought, what difference does one vote make, right? Well, the entire presidency in that election was decided by 537 votes in Florida. 537 votes in one state. And as I said, the folks who win power take a victory of any size as a mandate. In the years that followed that election, America chose to invade Iraq, which led to Americans losing their lives in that war for the next 8 years. The LGBTQ community was used as a political wedge, with states across the country banning gay marriage. An assault weapons ban expired, putting weapons like the AR-15 back on the streets, some of which have made their way into our schools. So if you're talking to anybody who thinks elections don't matter, ask them if any of those things do matter. War, social justice, gun violence. Or maybe ask them another question. Ask them to list the policies that have been changed by people who didn't vote. Ask them the name of one single community that's been improved by people who were uninvolved. And let me tell you, they will not be able to do it. And if they respond by saying that they can't trust the government or that all politicians are the same, ask them where they're hearing that nonsense from. Because the folks who are whispering that stuff into their ears, I guarantee you do not have their best interest at heart. The videos they're fed on social media, the algorithms on their phones, some guy on a podcast, those things are designed to make folks feel alienated. They're run by those same people in power who want to profit from your distraction. So y'all, you have a choice. You can listen to them, you can fold your arms and stay home, or you can listen to me. And if you want to listen to me, here's a warning. There are only a handful of very wealthy people in the world who can actually afford to be indifferent about our politics. And they have so much money that for them, it doesn't matter who's in charge. They can keep themselves removed from the rest of us, up and away from whatever happens down below. And most of us aren't in that position, especially if you're just getting started in your life or in your career. Those who got regular jobs, the folks who weren't born in this country or speak another language, those who look a different way or love a different way or pray a different way. You don't have the luxury to be indifferent to who's in power and who makes the rules. And for the young people, as the years go on, you all are going to be the ones left to clean up the mess. Because I'm not going to be here forever. And I don't want you all, our young people, to look up one day and realize that you don't even recognize the world you're living in. We need water right here. Water up front. Do we have volunteer? Just give them some air. A lot of times standing up this long time is hard. You all spread out. And you guys bounce on your knees, standing up. You all are young, but you're probably all dehydrated, aren't you? Everybody not drinking enough water. How's she doing? All right. So, now to the work part, because I want you all to listen, because now I hope you're asking the question how you're going to make sure that that doesn't happen, especially for your futures. How are you going to make sure that those in power actually care about you? And it's not by sitting out. Are we getting help? It's not by sitting out. Or is it by it's by using the tools you have to make sure that those in power actually see you. That's what all of this, why we have you guys all together here, Georgia, because the greatest power we have is influencing the outcome of an election. You okay, sweetie? Oh, poor baby. You guys, then make way this way. Get her to come this way. You all, she's probably really just dehydrated. And get her shoe. Get her shoe, Marone. Marone, get her shoe. Marone, get her shoe. She gonna want her shoe. You all, thank you. Thank you for looking out. All right. See, in the end, what matters is community. All of this, you know, and when we're talking about voting, we're talking about protecting our community, protecting the people that we love. And the greatest power that you have in this is in influencing the outcome in this election is really figuring out your community. It's focusing your efforts on your own camps. Because when it comes to getting people engaged, when it comes to convincing someone to get out and vote, folks tend to listen to people they actually know. I mean, that's one thing we've really learned. I mean, celebrities and famous people, they're wonderful. And thankfully, we've got so many who are focused and they're willing to come out and spend their time. But you've heard it. Some people will tell famous people, shut up and sing. Don't tell me what to do. So there's only so much we can do for people who we don't know personally. But people in their day-to-day orbit, people that they share a connection with, you can have an impact. So I want you all to look around in your own circles, the tables you sit at, the relationships you have, and ask those folks, what's your voting plan? So I'm talking about your families, your classmates, the folks you sit with in the pew at church or drink mimosas with after church. Who can you call while you're sitting in this lovely Atlantic traffic? I want you to think about that. It sounds simple, but you'd be amazed by how many people avoid having these conversations with the people they know. Nobody wants to have uncomfortable moments. Nobody wants to make things weird. I get it. But if you can't use your voice at the tables where you already sit, how on earth do you expect to have any voice at the tables where you don't? So, let me tell you, if y'all live like I live, if someone doesn't have the good sense to vote, I don't fool with them. I wouldn't pay, and sorry students, but I wouldn't pay tuition or give gas money to a child of mine that wasn't gonna vote. And fellas, if anybody was that clueless, I definitely wouldn't go out with them. So ask these brothers, you registered? You want to pull up to me? Let me see your voting card. Did you vote early? You cute, but did you vote? That's what I want to know. So you got to start by being willing to make things just a little uncomfortable with the folks you love. We can no longer play games with the people in our lives. We have to stop letting one another off the hook for failing to be engaged. And here's the thing, y'all. I guarantee you that once you have these conversations with the people who really mean something to you, you're not gonna harm those relationships. No, that's gonna make them stronger. You're gonna become closer. That's how this works. So my advice to all of you, when it comes to getting people to vote, start close. Start at home. And then reach out further. Tell everyone you know that here in Georgia, there are 3 days left to vote early. All across the state, as you've heard over and over again, you can vote early until November the 1st. So just go to whenweallvote.org to find the locations that are convenient for you. And of course, as you've heard, you can vote from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Election Day. So make your plan, Atlanta. And if you've already voted, which I heard backstage that a lot of you have, then so now you got a whole week to build your voting squad. I want you to reach out, you heard this, reach out to at least 3 people. 5 to survive and 10 to win, was that it? Did I get it right? Who might not vote, find those people, you know them. You know them. You got a friend, I know y'all do, a couple of knucklehead friends who are talking about not voting. You got to find them and shake them up because you know how close this election is going to be. 4 years ago, the presidential race in Georgia was decided by less than 12,000 votes. And when you break that down, y'all, this is the point you got to hear. When you break 12,000 people down across precincts, that's just 4 votes per precinct. So these numbers that we're talking about, 3, 5, 10, that's real. The same year in Iowa, there was an entire congressional district decided by just 6 votes. 6 votes. That's your group chat. That's half your fantasy football league. So maybe, just think about it, maybe you and your crew can decide the next congressperson or state senator from your area. And since you've got the honor of living in the great state of Georgia, a swing state, maybe, think about this, y'all. If you go out and get a crew together, you can decide who sits in the Oval Office. You can decide that. The power is in your hands. It really is in ways that you don't even realize. Not just in this election, but in every election after, because this work doesn't stop. The folks who are making it harder to vote certainly don't stop. you all have seen and heard about the shenanigans that some folks in this state have been trying to pull, the folks trying to make it harder to get your vote counted, the folks trying to allow a few unelected officials to wipe out the votes of entire precincts and sway the whole election. And thankfully, those rules have been overturned for this election. But who knows what's coming for the next one? So we have to stay vigilant, y'all. We have to stay organized, and we have to stay engaged even after Election Day. Because we don't just need to protect our democracy, we need to improve it, y'all. And that's a forever proposition. And that's the beautiful thing about this country, that we have always had the opportunity to make things better. That's been our story since our founding. A story that's so often been written by the good people right here in Georgia. So if we're gonna do our part here in our time, we've gotta stay engaged. We gotta hold our elected officials accountable. We gotta stand up and speak out and sit in when it comes to it. But most of all, we've got to vote in every single election at every single level, because these things don't work if we don't do them again and again and again. You can't just do this once in a while. That's why we vote, all of us, all the time. Because when we vote, we choose to push forward our own progress. When we all vote, and we choose to bend the curve toward what we believe in, when we all vote, we choose not just the trajectory of our city, our state, our country, we're choosing the trajectory of our own power. And I don't know about you, but I think we have a pretty powerful crew right here in front of me. I am so impressed with you all. I am so proud of you all. We are gonna hear from Georgia on November the 5th, aren't we? I want you all to stay hopeful, stay empowered, because we always have your back. Michelle and Barack Obama, we love you all to death. Vote early, get all your friends to do the same. We can move our communities and our country in the direction we want them to go, so let's get this done, Georgia. I love you all. Love you.
So bright she can burn your eyes. Better look the other way. You can try, but you'll never forget her name. She's on top of the world, hottest of the hottest girls. Say, oh, we got our feet on the ground and we're burning it down. Oh.
All right, everybody. I know many folks are going to head on out. I just want to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for coming. Can we give it up for Michelle Obama again? I also want to give it up to the co-chairs of When We All Vote and all of our special guests. I also want to thank our amazing team, the production staff, and everyone who has had a hand in making tonight special. As you head out, please be safe. All of our college students, we're asking that you convene at the front as you go to Lot E to catch your buses. Thank you so much for being here from the bottom of my heart. Have a wonderful evening. And now, to play you out, and if you want to continue the party, we've got DJ D-Nice coming back on stage. D-Nice.
us. We're gonna party on our way out as we celebrate right now. Let's get a D-Nice. Come on.